So being able to like have a mashup of culture together, then everyone comes together and gets to learn something. People that might not even go to an Indigenous market will go to this event and be able to hear good music, great food, and see all the vendors and be able to catch a class or to be able to learn something new about somebody else's culture.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the TF Cast. I'm Willis Stout.
Hey, we got Grum here. It is April 19th here in the Solarium.
And I'm your host, Jacob Bases. And today I am so pleased to present this star-studded lineup of 3 return guests to represent the Manifest event here in Mankato. First time ever. Let's kick it off to Alex to just give us the quick and dirty of what the Manifest event is and get things rolling.
Sure. Hey, I'm Alex. So the Mankato Manifest event here this year is brought on by the Midwest Art Catalyst along with the Mahkato Revitalization project. And it's supposed to be kind of our version of kind of an indigenous market, but also just an art kind of thing for Mankato. We want to, spread the love of indigenous vendors, but also the what we got here in the local scene. So it's a pretty good place to go to this year. It's May 13th, so under the bridge at the Blue Earth County Library.
Yeah, and what kind of things can people expect to see while they're there?
Yeah, so there's 3 bands now, I believe. Is that right, Megan?
What is that?
I think it's 5.
Is it 5 bands?
Yeah, I think
it's
it's
It actually
Oh, no,
6.
that's 6. We're at 6.
We're
Six
at
bands
6
now.
We're at 6.
Maybe
Wow.
7.
And the drummers.
Yeah, and
the
the drummers.
Yeah.
6 bands and the drummer.
But yeah, so the music is a big deal. We have a pretty big band coming out for that day.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be really fun to watch. And then we have the indigenous drummers,
upstream singers.
upstream singers, and then hopefully get some dancers out there that day.
I know.
We'll see how that goes. But there's classes like with Lakota Maid. Megan's going to be doing some, natural medicine courses, and there's going to be other indigenous courses along the day. Food trucks. We have 3 food trucks.
5.
5 food trucks. Yeah, I don't have these numbers right. Why am I
Perfect.
So 5 food trucks, 17 bands. But yeah, so it's going to be a great day. It's from noon to 8, and it's going to be a long day, but it's going to be really adventurous day, I think.
Activities for all ages, and it's
all.
free of charge, right? No ticket cover or anything like that.
Yeah, we're doing a suggested donation, but
Right.
obviously if you can't afford to come in, we don't want you to not come in. So,
Yeah.
and all the kids' activities are in the library, so there's 3 different sections of that too. So it's turning out to be a really big kid day.
Oh, cool.
And
Yeah.
it's the day before Mother's Day. We just figured out.
It's a good day to come out and get some gifts for your mother, though.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of vendors
Yeah,
there.
there's
So
going to be like 30 vendors.
yeah.
Like 25 vendors, 5 food trucks. And
Face painting,
face painting, henna,
Tons of cool stuff.
live
to do.
painting.
Yeah.
lots
a lot.
of
Wow.
flint napping.
Flint napping. Yeah, I'll do a flint napping class.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tons of stuff. And it's just like a conglomeration or a mashup of all of the cultures of Mankato.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
kinda like a
It
culture
is really,
share.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because there's way more than I think we realize here
Yeah.
in Mankato.
Yeah, I think so too.
Even just way more in this event than we realized.
I know.
Let's go down the music lineup right away, and then I think we should talk about the art raffle a little bit too, because it seems like we've covered the classes and the vendors. But from the top of that music lot, starting with the headliners, we have the Bad Bad Hats coming down from Minneapolis, and they're going on at 6:30. Buffalo Weavers at 4:30. Javier Trejo, is that correct? Am I pronouncing that?
Yeah,
correct?
he's bringing his whole band.
Okay, what's the name of his band? I don't have that in my notes actually.
It's on the flyer.
Right on.
It's over there.
Around 3:20, They Self at 150, Ilure and Ocho opening the thing up, and the drummers will be performing in the first 3 changeovers. That's the plan as it stands, and let's get into a little bit about how like these 2 events came to come together, and like what's going on with the art raffle, and like what that has historically provided people with.
Well, one night Megan made a post about wanting to do the art fair, the Indigenous Art Fair, and it wasn't going to happen. And she was just kind of bummed. And I was like, well, I'm kind of bummed because we haven't had our event since COVID. So that's been like 3 years. So I was like, what if we did our events together? Because we always did an art raffle and silent auction with music. And then Alex's brother was like, you should do it at the library. And so everything just fell into place, and here we are.
Yeah.
And for people who might not have gone to those previous MWAC events, can you just describe what they are and then what ends up happening with the money and like what kind of the ethos of that is?
Sure. So we used to have what was called the Post Holiday Extravaganza, and that was mostly bands. And then we'd have an art raffle and silent auction that got to be really, really big. So all the proceeds would go to local art and music programs to help support them. But then COVID happened, and we were in the process of like starting our next fundraiser when that was shut down.
How long had that series of fundraisers been going on for?
About 11 years. It started with our friend Edgar when he was diagnosed with cancer. And he said that it was always art and music that kept him going. So he wanted to help support that. So it all started because of him.
Yeah.
And for the Indigenous Art Fair side, that's not, this is the continuation of that event. It just didn't pan out with like Old Town this year or...
Yeah, they didn't want to do it this year because of the ice sculpture was going to cost like 3 times more than what it was before, which shouldn't have been like the end of it. But we decided to do this instead. So, and it's warmer in May than it is in February, so we can do way more stuff.
Yeah, can't make an ice sculpture, but still.
Yeah.
No, but we can be outside. And we can invite way more people from the community to attend the event, because it was at the Wooden Spoon building, and we filled that building completely full, and we kind of ran out of space for all the ideas that we wanted to do. And so this worked out way better because now we can do all the ideas that we wanted to do and invite all the people, and it's not blistering cold. So that is
Huge difference.
a huge difference.
It's just, I think it's nice to celebrate Indigenous culture outdoors anyway. I think that's where most of our stuff is done, you know.
Right.
We don't do a lot of stuff indoors.
No,
So,
we're outside people.
yeah, we're outside people.
Unless it's -50.
Yeah.
Then I'm not outside people.
Then I'm from the South.
So,
Right?
so what's coming from the previous years of Indigenous Art Fair that are coming to manifest then this year?
The classes, the vendors. We invited a lot of, the drum group, Upstream Singers. They are a younger drum group that comes from Omaha, Nebraska. And they started with my nephew, Izzy Tamayo, in 2019, I believe it was. And he has grown up with my Uncle Steve and I on the powwow circuit. And he always hung out with the different drum groups. And he started to learn all the songs, and then started to learn the language enough to compose his own songs. And so he started his own drum group. And so it's a group of guys that come together and they share their music. Izzy also teaches about the drum, and so he has the history of the drum, why he sings the certain songs, and why he composes different songs, and so which each song has the meaning behind each song. And so it's a huge educational piece, because if you're not a part of that powwow culture, you have no idea that there's significant meaning behind each song and why songs are made. And so I always look to him as a drum group, because he provides that educational piece. And if he doesn't, then my Uncle Steve comes and speaks and gives that educational piece about the drum group. So
I think Izzy and the Upstream Singers are becoming one of the kind of premier drum groups. Honestly, they have such a large presence online now.
yeah.
They're doing really good stuff.
Yeah, I absolutely love them, and they are definitely getting up there as far as a popularity of along the powwow circuit, which is pretty cool for being as young as they are.
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
Very good singers. They're really good singers.
Yeah, it's really, I think the first time I heard them was out at the Hub, and then I got to hear it again at the Indigenous Art Fair when it was inside, and you have to experience it, because there's no other. It's almost indescribable that it's so loud.
It literally blew out our microphone. Like I couldn't record it because it was blowing out all of any microphone. And I literally had 6 different microphones, and every single one, it was blowing it out.
It's going to be amazing to hear that under the bridge.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
I'm really stoked for that.
A lot of reverb down there.
Yeah.
It's an interesting acoustic environment, but that'll be...
Yeah, I'm excited to try to mix under that. It should be...
We're
fun.
We're going to be a part of the event too, helping produce it and offer some media production, stuff like that. And we're really excited to join and be a part of this awesome community event and bringing all this together. So just really excited for that, and looking forward to all the bands, and sounds cool for the drums too.
What's the Bad Hats at Mom Fest? You guys know, Minnesota Original Music Fest?
I'm not sure.
I think I feel like I did monitors for them
last year.
Yeah, the only Mom Fest.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think that they were, because they would have. I mean, just based on their listenership, I would have imagined that they would have been the headliner.
There's some pretty crazy headliners, but not important.
Yeah. So where are we at right now in the process? What are people getting excited about for the upcoming event and stuff like that?
Well, right now we're looking for volunteers, which I put Alex in charge of that.
I got a few volunteers already.
Yeah.
A few people.
So I think we have a good group. I split everyone into separate groups to handle the kids' activities and handle the volunteers, because it's getting really overwhelming really fast.
Yeah.
And I put Jacob in charge of everything.
Perfect.
I'll just add that to my notes. Hey Alex, I need some help.
No, I'm busy.
What kind of kids activities will there be?
So Cultivate a Mankato is doing kids activities that aren't specified yet, but it's going to be in the kids library section. Mm-hmm. The Maker Space is going to do an online kids class, which is still unspecified, but it's going to be awesome. Cool. And then Patty Rusky from Sidetracked is going to do sculpture with clay on the patio.
Along with, there's going to be face painting there too. That's always a big hit with the kids.
You can get your face painted.
I feel like I have to get my face painted.
We all should. That'd be great.
I think all the organizers should get their face painted.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heather Fitzsimmons is the art teacher at the alternative school, so she's bringing some students to do that. And then there's one more thing.
Is she doing henna too?
Yeah, she's doing henna too.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So it's pretty exciting. Plus, it's the library. If you haven't been in that building, it's epic.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Especially the kids section of the library. It's very cool.
Yeah. And the library is bringing out their giant blocks. They're like
I
giant
love
Legos.
Those.
You can play in them too.
Someone does need to mix the sound. There is bands from noon to 8.
Sad.
Bag rum.
It'll be okay. We're gonna make it work. Everyone's gonna get their face painted and have a good time. And well, let's just brag about ourselves some more. Like what else? We know who organized the food trucks? Did you reach out?
It was me and Sabrina.
Okay, let's talk about what's coming, because I always like to know what I'm going to be able to eat day of.
Okay, tamales.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Leps is going to be there.
Okay.
Wonder's ice cream truck.
Okay, now I'm sold, because it's first of all it's gonna be hot, right? Is it? No, it's May. It's May. Okay.
It could be warm.
May 13th.
Mid-May.
Yeah, we had a 90-degree day last week. It could be. It could be somewhere
Nobody
between
knows.
20 and 110 degrees.
We could get a tornado.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're safe under the bridge, right?
Yeah. Mankato's good.
Yeah, that'd be
No
pretty
tornadoes ever come
wild.
Mankato.
We're
True.
in the river valley, so I think we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah.
We can watch it go by on top of the hill, right?
Heck yeah.
Maybe Izzy can write a song about it.
Yeah, he will.
We're just down there banging the drums and
You guys heard of
tornadoes.
Anthrax, right?
Man.
And the band,
Like the band Anthrax? Yeah.
disease or
Band.
the virus.
So a couple weeks ago, we were in Omaha for an event, and Izzy actually was like on the stage with Joey Belladonna. And I have an autographed drum from Joey Belladonna,
Sick.
a whole bunch of pictures, and I am old. And so like when he walked up to where we were sitting, no one knew who he was. And I'm like over in the like fangirling out, like, oh my God! And I know who that is. And my Uncle Steve is like, because he was standing there talking to him, and I'm like, I know who that is. And all those young kids, I can say that now because I'm 40.
Oh,
I had
yeah.
no idea who that was. And they're like, why
These
are you so
kids.
excited? I'm like, have you guys heard of Anthrax? And they're like, who? God, you guys suck. Anyway. So we got to hang out with Joey Belladonna all week, and like we're besties now. But got a bunch of stuff signed. But Izzy actually got to go on stage with him, and they did the Omaha like national anthem or whatever, and then Joey Belladonna sang the national anthem for the I don't know, it's like rich people horse stuff. So like it was this big
Rich
World
people
Cup
horse stuff.
event. Yeah, and it was on ESPN and
Like the
stuff. But they got to
dressage
share the yeah.
tournament.
There you go,
Yeah.
dressage. How do you say that?
Dressage.
There you
What
go.
is that?
It's like fancy horse riding.
Like gymnastics on the back of a horse.
Yeah,
type stuff.
yeah. And like jumping and like
There's
skill courses.
Skill courses. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not. I don't think they jump in dressage.
They do.
Yeah.
They do jump. The one thing, the one
might be.
event
And
that
they
I
do
watched,
this-
they,
But there's a different
stuff.
dressage
Horse
and
jumps,
jumping
or
are
you jump on the
different.
horse?
yeah, they do gymnastics on the back of a horse.
Oh.
Like the special horse trotting.
Yeah,
and
you
stuff
know,
like that.
Yeah.
like when the trot with purpose. The cute little, kind of like how I walk, you know?
It's a real prance.
A real prance, yeah. And what kind of vendors are we looking at expecting there?
We are looking at everything from like beadwork to paintings to like I think we have like a lady that makes the cool cups, like coffee cups and stuff like that. We just have like a wide range of makers.
Sick.
Like every type of maker you can think of, I
Cool.
believe will be there, which is super cool because then something for everyone.
Hmm. And did you attempt to find mostly like indigenous vendors, or is it
It's a
Is
good
that like a
mix of
separate thing?
everyone.
okay?
A good mix of everyone.
Sick.
It's hard to find indigenous vendors, to be completely honest.
Really?
Yeah.
It can be difficult sometimes to find people.
There's like a good group of like 15 of us.
yeah.
But
Mm.
because like there's a group of 15 of us, so
we
we
have to
can't
do
go
all
everywhere.
the events. Like,
Right.
And
Cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to see two really big type of events like this coming together to make an even larger event. You know, like imagining the scope of the things. Like I've seen an event under the bridge before, but the more this gets mapped out, like it seems like this is going to have many more hundreds of people coming through there. So I'm really excited to see what the day of looks like.
yeah.
Do we have any updates on what kind of art people can be bidding on at the raffle? I know we've got some of the pieces already. If we just want to do some more name dropping, that's always fun.
Yeah, I've got Burlesque in the Cities donating some prints that they have sitting around. And then there's a couple artists in the cities I have to pick up from, but most of it's like local artists. So we're going to start posting because we want to make sure to plug every artist that donates, so to give them some exposure.
Yeah.
So all that will be on the Midwest Art Catalyst Facebook page.
And there's still opportunities to do that, right? If people
Oh, please.
Yeah. So if you are interested in participating in the event as an artist and you want to have some of your work be involved in this art raffle to explain how some of these funds have been used in the past and what they end up doing.
Sure. So we always donate to the 410 Project, to Dana. And then we've donated to the Alternative School in the past for her art supplies and the Makerspace. We used to donate to Lancers for like a scholarship sort of situation for kids that can
I got
afford
one
it.
of those one time.
You did?
Hmm.
Cool.
Yay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What do you play?
I was a tuba player.
Where is it?
Oh.
Oh, I can't afford one. MWAC wouldn't buy me one.
I bet we could find one.
But yeah, I no joke, MWAC helped paid for me to go to California.
Awesome. Yeah, so it's always been like local art and music programs. I know like a couple art teachers we've donated to for different activities. So it just depends on the year and the need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's really good to be able to be mobile like that and to be able to respond to needs. A lot of times when there's really rigid structures, I feel like funds get misappropriated in like large government programs and stuff like that. So I'm always very happy to see things responding directly to communicated needs in the community. But all that said, if you're looking to get involved in that way, follow the MWAC Facebook or Instagram page. And I know that they're still accepting drop-offs at Mecca, right?
Right.
Additionally, volunteering sounds like there might be some volunteer opportunities for anyone.
There's a lot of those.
For
Yeah, we
anyone who's
definitely
still
want
really
volunteers.
excited to be a
All of
part of
them.
the event, be there, be helping out.
Where do we go to sign up to be a volunteer?
Alex.
Yep. You can just email me at rivervalleymakers@gmail.com.
Rippin'.
Sure.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, is there anything else that we gotta touch on to be able to share this event with folks? Anything else that's important to share that we maybe didn't get to?
I think
Well-
it's actually really important that we do this culture mash because when we did the Indigenous market, we had an amazing turnout, but people might not have felt comfortable enough as far as like, well, I don't know if I'm, because some people are so scared of that cancel culture. And so being able to like have a mashup of culture together, then everyone comes together and gets to learn something. People that might not even go to an Indigenous market will go to this event and be able to hear good music, great food, and see all the vendors and be able to catch a class or to be able to learn something new about somebody else's culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my elevator pitch.
Yeah.
Why did I have to do the one? Then?
Because you're the MC.
Maybe we'll just put that right at the front.
Yeah, we can MC. That'd be the little
That would be
stinger.
a preview. Yeah. Oh,
And I just
had a
thought
question,
of it. So.
Oh,
That is actually a really good point because I feel like a lot of times when like any kind of group that is not the largest available create something, people assume oftentimes that it's not for them or that and I have very rarely walked into a place and actually felt that that it wasn't, and almost every time I have, it was specifically stated that this is like a place for us to like decompress. And it is really good to have spots, especially in places like Mankato, for us to come together, because there's like a whole lot of healing to go on in this community. And I think that making those connections like right there on the ground is a big way to promote that. Because I mean, if you just read the comments in a news article, you can pretty find out what's going on.
Don't do that. Don't read the comments. In the news.
Yeah, that's a bad
Okay,
move.
well then why are you always there? Why do I see you? I'm not saying I'm not there, but
It's one of those days where you catch me in a rare mood where I want to fight. So
so you're like a troll then?
Yeah.
sometimes
Okay.
I am, and I just get.
I could see that.
Yeah.
There was this one time that I got in a particularly bad fight with someone on Facebook, and I had just booked a gig with Johnny F. And I was like really excited for it. And then after that, I was like, man, I hope Johnny doesn't see this and unhire me. And then 2 replies down was Johnny being like, yeah, fuck you. And I was like, yeah. Any other things? Otherwise, do we want to move on to some plugs, or maybe just, I don't think anyone really got a chance to just talk about who they are. So maybe some self plugs a little bit.
yeah, if I guess if someone's completely unfamiliar with anyone in this room, that'd be good. Like let's just like we can even do like just introduce yourself and like how you got involved in like arts advocacy kind of thing. I kind of see this event as that. I mean, we can even start with Triple Falls,
Yeah.
That's fun. Well, we're Triple Falls over here, and we got involved with arts advocacy by literally just showing up to the first thing we saw in a piece of paper. Like Willis and I back when it was a
basically true.
2-person team. We're like, we're going to go get involved. And we got involved with something that is long since dead. But, now we were working with events that drew, 5 or 10 people. And it sounds like this is going to pull 100 times that. And this is only, 5 or so years later. So we're proud to be here and glad to be organizing and providing sound and media for the event.
Yeah, I really appreciate being a part of stuff like this, being able to help support events, not just of the scale, but like of the focus around music and art. And I know we're pulling a lot of really skilled creators and performers onto this project. So by showing, you'll be able to, by going to it, you'll be able to see like a lot of really amazing, talented creators from the area and people just working on their craft, looking to make this area, make southern Minnesota, make Minnesota a really awesome place to live and work. So I appreciate being able to be a part of that, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it all come together in such a cool way. I think it's really kind of magical when you can make it happen there. And I know we've been doing a lot of manifesting around what this could become. So
Heck yeah.
Additionally, like, it's great to throw productions of like literally any kind. Like, we love to work with people, but when the work also comes with like a sense of purpose, that's it just makes going a little bit further all that much easier. So yeah.
I've been involved with the music scene in Mankato since I was about 16 is when I first got asked to help at the What's Up Lounge. I ran the What's Up Lounge for 1.5 years with a friend. And yeah, ever since I found Triple Falls, I've wanted to get involved, and I bothered them till they let me.
yeah.
Well, we need volunteers for next.
We could just go in order.
That's what I
don't know
switched
if
to your
people
guys'
know.
camera.
Going first. I'm Megan Schnitker. I own Lakota Made. I'm the executive director of Mahkato Revitalization Project. Lakota Made, we've done a podcast before. So I do herbal medicine. I do a lot of cultural teachings that kind of led to the nonprofit. And I don't know what else to say other than Alex is a good friend of mine, and he also helps out with Mahkato Revitalization. And we like to do fun stuff. So helped him out with River Valley Makers until it grew to way too big to where I was. I kind of stepped down from that because it's too much to manage, and I'm not a vendor anymore.
Right, yeah.
I'm not a local vendor anymore. I have a store. So I graduated from vendor to store. So, but yeah, we help out and do a lot of cool events. And Megan is so cool to be like, let's combine events. And I was like, yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, well.
So
I would definitely point people towards our podcast episode with Lakota Made in their previous one. We should do another one just in the store.
Episode 55, that was.
But a few times you mentioned the Mahkato Revitalization Project, but I don't think we've ever mentioned that on the podcast yet. Maybe you could just talk about what work is going on there and, like why that has, like how that integrates with the event.
yeah, so Mahkato Revitalization is a small nonprofit, like it's really small. And right now we are doing after school programming with the local school district for cultural teaching. And so we do hands-on teaching about Lakota, Dakota history and culture that is not offered in public school systems. And they get to learn a cool art and craft. And so it's always tied to Lakota, Dakota history and culture. So they are, right now they're beating pouches. And so we have 2nd grade through 12th grade. And I think we have a group of like 12 to 13 students twice a week for 2 hours. And it's really fun because they just did dream catchers. So they get to learn some history while their hands are busy. And so that's the way that we have always kind of taught things previously when I worked in South Dakota school systems. And so we taught Indigenous youth how to bead, how to quill, how to sew, and brought them back to their culture because it was taken away from them from boarding schools. And so I had worked with youth for about 12 to 13 years for my mom's nonprofit. And that's kind of where, when I got sober, that's where I reconnected with my culture. And then I got really thrown into it when she was like, and now you're going to work with this after school program. And I was like 23 and like, okay, fine, I'm going to work with kids. So I did that and I actually loved it. It was a lot of fun because kids are very blunt. And they call you out on your shit all the time. And so it helped me out with my sobriety. It helped me out with reconnecting with my culture. Because when you work with kids, if you don't know something, you shouldn't make it up because they will remember what you said. And I also learned that from my elders. And so I was like, if I don't know something, I'm not going to make something up. And so I learned how to bead, sew, quilt, and do feather work and leather work, all of it so that I could teach the kids. And so when the opportunity came about the last year to do that in this school district here, we absolutely jumped on it. And so now we have Monday and Thursdays after school programming at the Lincoln Community Center. And Lydia, I forgot her last name. But she helps out with the after school program. Alex is a board member, and we do, that's just part of what we do. But I also do a go around the upper Midwest to teach Lakota, Dakota history and culture, teach a lot of plant classes, kind of reconnecting people with Indigenous culture because it's not taught in public school systems. You have to kind of seek it out. And so that's what Mahkato Revitalization.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm Alex Ek. I got a long list of things that I do here. So let's see. I own Crystal Candles Company here in Mankato, the Mineral Men here in Mankato. I co-own 108 Alchemy, the store downtown. I am the founder and president of River Valley Makers. I am the treasurer of the Mankato Revitalization Project. I am one of the key committee members on the Old Town Association Day of the Dead event here in Mankato. I do a lot. So, yeah, but I'm also an artist. I'm a canvas artist. I do flint napping. That's part of my indigenous culture. I learned how to flint nap about 6 years ago. I was mentored by an Iowa native that works at the powwow every year. So I actually learned from him and kind of connected to my indigenous roots through flint napping. And so now I assist with teaching that flint napping at the powwow for the last 2 years now. I teach my own classes for that too. And that's one of the things that I'm going to show people how to do at the manifest is do some flint napping, show people how to make knives. Show how to make rocks into sharp things is essentially what I do. I just break rocks.
For someone who knows nothing about flint napping,
Sure.
just give them the rundown on what they might be prepared to learn.
Yeah, so you're going to learn about the materials that are used in flint napping, and also the materials that are used throughout different cultures of indigenous peoples, because not the same materials in all the places in the United States. So I teach about the materials that are used depending on the region of the United States that they're from. I teach the techniques on how to actually make knives and things like that. I teach about the traditional tools and then the modern tools and things like that. And then I also teach about the significance of flint napping and why it was so important. Things like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
And he makes some pretty cool knives because we got some for my
Yeah,
family for
I make some
Christmas.
pretty cool knives.
Yeah.
I actually made a spearhead for your dad for ceremonial spearhead. That was last year.
Yeah.
I was really excited about that.
Yeah,
That's really
because my dad is a bonnet wearer.
Yeah.
He's a hereditary chief, and so part of his regalia is this spear that he's been wanting to make forever. But we didn't know anybody that flint napped, and then Alex was like, "I can do it," and he made it for my dad. My dad was pretty stoked that it was like perfect, because they have a really old picture of one of my great grandpas, and in this picture he has this spear, and my dad's wanted it forever, and finally Alex made the spearhead for him, and now he's got my other uncle, Mike Marshall, making the rest of the spear for him. So it's
That was
cool.
really cool. I got to make a
Awesome.
replica like spearhead. That was really
Yeah.
cool.
That's sick.
Yeah.
What does it mean to be a bonnet wearer?
It means that each of our eagle feathers is sacred to us because of our relationship with the eagle. And each eagle feather is earned, and it's earned through either through war deeds or through achievements in the community. And so a long time ago, those were given to us in through ceremony. And so when you earned a feather, a male or a female earned enough feathers to make a bonnet, then you were considered in leadership roles. And so now those are handed down through hereditary means most of the time now, but a long time ago they were only given or they were only earned. And so some of them have what they call, I guess in English it's called a war bonnet, but we call them wapahas. And so that's where the feathers are aligned in a line on the head, and it looks like a bonnet. Some of them have bonnets that go down to the floor with eagle feathers. Most of those are war chiefs. Leadership had the shorter bonnets. And so that's kind of a little bit about bonnets or the wapahas that we have. But my Lakota name is Tawapaho Otawi, which means many war bonnets woman. And so my name comes from many, many generations back of a woman that didn't go the traditional route of husband and children. She decided to go into the Women's Society that went into war. And she was of the Red Scarf Society. And so she had a red scarf around her waist. And she would ride into battle, and she would take her spear and she would stab her scarf into the ground, and that's where she would battle. And if she lived, that was a great achievement in battle. And she did this so many times and did so many battles that she earned enough eagle feathers for many war bonnets. But she also did a lot of community achievements in leadership and taking care of her community. And so that's how she earned her name, Many War Bonnets Woman. And that was given to me by my great grandpa before he passed.
Cool. Thanks for sharing.
I don't have a cool name like that.
Yeah.
No.
I just wanted to quick shout out the episodes where we spoke with all these fine folks in the past too. We had Alex Act speaking about Old Town, episode 96.
That was for the Day of the Dead.
For the Day of the Dead celebration. Yes.
Which was so fun.
And Megan Schnitker, we spoke about Lakota Maid in episode 55. And then for Megan Hoogland, we spoke episode 74. So you can catch our other conversations with all these fine folks individually on those episodes.
Don't think you're getting off the hook. That was not a transition. It's your turn to talk about yourself.
Fine. Yeah, it's been an interesting year. Like, I feel like I'm a totally different person from the last time I was here with you guys. Like, felt like I was just in a fog. And then all of a sudden in February, that all lifted, and now this is happening. Because the Midwest Art Catalyst, like I said, hasn't been doing anything for 3 years. It was like dead in the water until all of a sudden now we're manifesting this event. But I own Mecca Tattoo. I'm a tattoo artist, and I have been for, I thought it was about 20 years, and then I figured out it's more like 26. So, and then we have 7 artists there. Yeah, but the Midwest Art Catalyst, that's just something that I've always felt like we should be giving back to the community, because as tattoo artists, we're successfully like making a living doing art, and it's not the case with a lot of makers. So it's always been like a volunteer-based organization that tries to bring the community together for events, and I feel like this is going to make that happen in a really big way.
And this is a big cooperative event, but MWAC is going to continue to operate beyond just the scope of this event, or is this going to be its yearly kind of party? Because this is also going to happen again. Barring total disaster, nothing is going to happen bad. But
knock on wood.
Yeah.
Jacob loves to say that. I had a quick question. Is Chucky still doing the other thing at the What's Up Lounge that he does every year, or is this that as well?
As far as I know, because that's like a to honor Edgar.
Yeah, it's like Edgar Fest. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's always going to do that.
Love it. Okay, sorry to interrupt.
But this is just part of what MWAC is going to continue to do. This is like the Phoenix rising from the ashes or something.
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like the Post Holiday was like run its course, and I feel like this is a better use of our abilities, especially if we're partnering with another nonprofit. It's just going to be bigger and better, and I think that we should be doing it every year. Cool. Nothing bad's going to happen.
Yeah.
You're in charge.
Yeah.
If anything bad happens,
that
it's
was
your fault.
not
Like,
I think you got
a
like
binding
unanimous
agreement.
vote of like you're in charge. Jacob.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
I agree from our end too. If you don't like the sound, it was because of Jacob.
Yeah, actually, if you have any problem at all, you can come up and berate me.
We could
during
just
the
get-
event.
just give Triple Falls a bad review.
We could get a dunk tank.
Yeah, like it's like an information tent, but it's a complaint tent, and it's just Jacob sitting there.
A dunk tank. Yeah.
That would be the best last minute addition we could have, is a dunk tank.
I can make that happen.
That should be your catchphrase. If you need
It
someone
really
to
should.
find you something,
I can make that happen.
she'll just pull out her phone and all of a sudden generators
Alex,
and flatbeds.
We need a dunk tank.
That's
One at
the
G&K
secret.
rental.
Yeah,
I know you can.
Yeah. They're not that expensive.
No, I think it's like $50 for the day.
What?
Dude, I got $50 in my wallet.
Okay, I got to go.
Okay.
Who's getting dunked is the question.
It's definitely
thought
the
we already
person in
decided
charge.
that.
The person in charge would be getting dunked, and that's Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob's in charge.
Well, I think I'm in charge of the segue.
Is that your mad face?
Shoot. Oh gosh.
I don't know.
Is there anywhere else we got to go with this thing, or are we wrapping?
No, I think the
we're
dunk
wrapping.
tank was the route to the bugs.
Thanks for coming out, guys. Thanks for giving TF the opportunity to get it on ground level. I think this might be the biggest show I was ever the head sound tech on too. So that sounds pretty cool. So thanks.
Yeah, and be there on May 13th,
From 12 to 8.
noon to 8.
Noon to 8.
Yeah.
And,
all the information's on the Midwest Art Catalyst Facebook page and the Manifest Instagram.
Cool. Volunteer.
Any questions? Ask Jacob.
Ask Jacob. Thank you. Bye.
Blame Jake.